Welcome. Let's see what we can glean together for today. I have this session here, live drum session. So basically we have sub kick. That's a Yamaha sub kick. Look it up online. And then we have a kick mic, a regular kick mic. That will be inside. And we have the hi-hat overhead left, left from the drummer's perspective, right. Again, then we have one room mic, I believe a few feet away from the drum. We have the snare top, we have the snare bottom. We'll talk about this track later. We have first tom, second tom, third tom. Let's just play this and get a general feel. So basically decently recorded. I hear a lot of ghost notes in the snare, and then he has a tom hits. What happens here? Okay, great. Okay, so the drummer boy pattern here, we'll talk about that one too. And then we have what here? Okay, we have the straight pattern over there too. Great. So let's start with our kicks. But before the side note, I would love that we have the drummer boy pattern as a separate track from the regular snare, because that would allow us to EQ it a bit differently. Let me see. Yeah, so there's this texture and there's a drummer boy texture. Yeah, so basically two textures, so we'll find a way around it. Sub kick, first thing, let's put in a gate. But let me mute every other thing that we have here. If you don't have headphones, or a sub, I doubt if you're hearing anything from there, because frequency, let me see. So the dominant stuff is happening right about here, 44, around 50 hertz. That's where we have majority of the energy for this. Good, and that's the intent of it. We're going to put on this plugin, the 3A, the LA3A from Waves. The other models of it, I like the Waves version because of the analog circuitry color, not the compression, but the color. It just adds some mid-range girth. Yeah. Right about here. So that's for the sub kick. Let's mute that for a sec. Great. Has so much attack. Sounds good. Let's add a gate. Let's be sure we are not missing anything. My advice would be try not to choke it too much. I know we want it clean, but try not to choke it like this, because you will miss out on a bit of the sustain. So allow a few snares might as it were escape, but we'll be okay. Don't worry about it. Again, let's put a 3A on it. Compression off. Oh, sweet. Without. Not just a volume difference, that thickness around 200 hertz thereabout. So both kicks together. There we go. Now we want to find out if the phase is correct. So let's see. I think it sounds better this way. So let's see. Okay, so then what am I doing from here? I'm busing them to a kick sub. That's a kick, the sub bass, and then the inside mic are coming here. And then what do I have here? I have yet another gate. Now they feel as one kick. And notice we haven't done any compression whatsoever. So this is kick subgroup containing sub kick and the inside mic. Now let's do a few things before we head on. Let's go back here. Depending on the door that you use, this thing might be a bit different. But I am going to send from our subgroup to an auxiliary. I'm going to call it parallel kick. So I'm sending, and this is post fader, this is not pre fader. So let's go to parallel. There we have it. On this one, we can put, let's put an 1176. The CLA one is fine. The UAD one is fine. Any of them that works for you is fine. So slow attack, fast release. Without it. With it. One more time. Without it. With it. Okay, so the next layer I would go to is from this parallel, let's send it to another parallel. So let's understand there's a main, there are the two kick tracks that go into a kick subgroup. And from the kick subgroup, we did a parallel and then we put an 1176 on it. This is mainly to get us bite. We'll talk about it in a jiffy. The next one is going to kick sub. And so, and that is feeding from the first one. So this is it. Let me take, no, let's go. All right, we'll be okay. So, and on this guy, let's put a pull tech. Great. So let's pick 30 hertz. Attenuate the highs a bit. I just need a low energy. There we go. And I'm not applying any compression to this one because it's feeding off the first parallel kick that has a compression on it. So these are 3 kicks together without the parallels. Still sounds cool. Sounds a lot stronger, doesn't it? So we are still on kick. Still on kick. Let's do, another send, this time to a track that I've labeled a drum crash. Let me find out if I have the distressor on the system. Okay, I do have the distress on the system. What's it saying? It's not authorized. We could get this thing done in no time, but don't worry about it. Let's use something that we all have. Let's use the SSL from Waves. Yes, this should work. Again, slow attack, fast release. Okay, so this is a drum crash. This is like so the kick itself is not receiving any compression whatsoever. It went into a parallel, first parallel, second parallel. This is the third one that we're doing where this is going to an SSL compressor. But this will be a shared track because other things like the snare and maybe the room mics, I'm not too sure, might join them here. As we move on, we'll know which other tracks can join them at this point. Let's add some snares. There we go. So let me put the kick off just for a minute. Okay, so first of all, let's be sure our face is correct. That's it. That's the face. Listen to it again. There's this low end warmth that comes up every time your face is correct. And speaking of warmth, let's go back to our guys. The 3A. There we go. Remember, no compression whatsoever. So we'll do the same thing for the kick top, snare top and the snare bottom. There we go. So snares. Oh yes. Sounds good. So lest I forget, let's have these guys grouped together. Control G if you are on the Cubase platform. Let me then cut from here to here. All right, great. And let's duplicate. Duplicate. So let's have the copies here. Just get rid of this. Get rid of this. So we have our drummer boy section separated. Let me color it differently so it's easier to see. The drummer boy, and then these are the regular. No, choose a different color. Yes. Okay. So for the first, our regular snare track, we have created a bass for it. It's down here, snare. Let's create another bass. This time we are going to call the... Oh, it's outside the screen. Sorry. So we'll call this snare drummer boy. There we go. So snare drummer boy is down here. Let's see if we have the 73 from Waves. A little sizzle. There we go. little 7K, a little 220 to bring out the body in the snare. Great. So let's go back, listen to the drummer boy section. Great, sounds sizzly good. Let's combine that with the kick. Let's drop that in volume just a bit. Okay, so I'm hearing something. Let's address that. Let's go to our kick, the main group. Let's clean out a bit of the 300 area. Yeah, great. I was just hearing just a bit of a low mid. Let's add a bit of 60 hertz to the kick, just a dB or two. Sir. Okay, we'll keep making changes as we go along, so don't worry about it. Next group of snares. Okay, so a similar treatment. Okay, so from here we can see, I think I'd already routed that to the drum crash. So let's see what it's doing here. So in our drum crash, we have the snare joining the kick there. I'd already been routed. So back to our snare. Let's put again the 73 on it. Nice. Again, a bit of the 200, let's say. Not too much. Too much. Okay, I'm tempted to lower the bottom snare just a bit. Great. So this, notice it sounds just a little different from this section. Great. Hope we're learning something from this. What should we add next? Let's drop in the overheads and then we'll come and talk about the snare sample. Overheads, let's listen to them. So panned, drummer's perspective, left and right. Okay, already did some EQ in here. Let's move to the sections where he crashes. Just want to listen to. That's not too bad. So I think I just lowered something somewhere here. Yeah. That feels decent. That feels decent. Let's roll off a bit of the bottom. That's sweet. Okay, so we can put our 3A is a star for today. No compression. Then let's add Okay, let's use a different one this time. Let's put on the 1176. This is a UA version. Don't ask me about the humming. Yes, the drum was humming along. Yes, sir. Sounds good on this side. Let's go to the drummer boy section. Okay, so sometimes the phase is a bit off, so let's find out. Yeah, the phase is better this way. So it's already in phase. Let's put in the hi-hat. We'll come to the snare sample in just a bit. Hi-hat. Drummer's perspective, so we'll take it a bit to the left, not too much. I'll usually just roll off. Not super sizzly like this, no. But I want to leave a little bit of the snare in there. Let me see if we can get... Yes, sir. Sounding very good. So then you would ask, why do I still have a snare trigger here? I'll tell you what, sometimes we need just a bit more crack on the snare, just a bit more crack. And so this is actually the sample I'm adding. Interesting sound, isn't it? And it's one of my snare samples. Triggering it from the snare top. So we're going to sneak it in, find out if it's working, and see if we're going to add some EQ or something to it. So without it, sorry, so this is without it. And then gradually I'll sneak it in. It definitely is adding some tops to the thing, and I would even be tempted to exaggerate it a bit. And if you want to check out my settings on trigger, so reducing the dynamics a bit. Most importantly, I'm not triggering the ghost notes. So I'm only going for the big hits. Okay, let's check the phase. Occasionally comes up as a problem. Sounds real punchy. So let's put in our room mics. We only have one of it. With this room mic, this is actually going to be like a rock ballad kind of thing. So I don't mind the room mic sounding just a bit distorted, so we'll dig in a bit. Dig in even more. Let's use let's go back to the CLA 76. It's a mono track. Let's try the blue for this one. Okay, so again, we are going to sneak it in. Just going to add some energy. Without it, with it. Now just add some girth to it. Let's clean out the low mids a bit. And so the ghost notes are so crisp and clear. And then the next set of guys are toms. Now, all the doors have their shortcuts to get this thing done. But in Cubase, you can highlight the entire thing. Go to process, I believe. Am I right? No, advanced. Detect silence. Again, is going to the other screen. Messy me. How do I carry it to this side? There we go. So it's going to detect the tom. Basically, you need to set the threshold right. And after that is just click yourself away to get all the toms cleaned out. That was super easy, wasn't it? But then you need to come, zoom out a bit, take the snap off. Did I do undo size? Great. So a gentle fade in and a gentle fade out. I'm doing this thing just because we need to get this thing done in time, but you need to listen through each of them and be sure that the fading fade outs are correct. So tom, first tom, second tom, bit to the right, and then our third tom on that side. Let's listen to how they sound on their own. Okay, so let's create a bass for them. Do I already have a bass? No, I don't. Yeah, I do have a bass for them. So let's create, patch them to the tom bass. Am I hearing a click? Okay. We are not going to re-trigger these toms. We will keep them as they are. Am I doing the right thing? No. So let's go to the tom group and we'll put on an L1. That's also from Waves. I'm wondering what I picked up here. Let me see. It's a small click. Don't worry. That's not our agenda for today. But if you want to take care of it, it can be done. Good. So first of all, let's get a good balance between the three tones, and let's add some weight. Let's do our bass. And let's try the CLA drums plugin. Let's try. Yes, there we go. My experience with this is sometimes this particular plugin is helpful. Sometimes it doesn't work for the genre. Let's see what it sounds like. Let's see without it. I seem to prefer it without it. Let's try the JJP version. It has a different sound. There we go. Okay, the JJP one for this song. I hear some resonance here. You see that? Great. Let's send a little bit of this to our drum crash. Just a little bit of it. So basically we have our drummer voice section. Sounds very airy.